or abandonment of such project that may enhance the completion of such, or if there are certain help that the community can render to ensure the consummation of such project. These are two of social accountability. What we are supposed to do is to strengthen their activities. Currently, you need to synergize or identify such accountability group in communities so that you can partner with them and give them some little training on how to go about the activities they are tasking themselves on. That's one. Then secondly, you can also do an encouragement of social accountability group. So you can also strengthen them by giving them by encouraging them through some kind of help, not necessarily through huge donation. You can enhance their capacity by giving them a little helping, and maybe if they go for meetings, whether periodically or on daily basis, you can send in some token of your appreciation that will spur them into dwelling more into the activities they are into. And also, you can also allow them to encourage them by telling them their activities should be so exposed so that they can attract donation, not necessarily from government or from diaspora. Thank you very much.
On Benue, we came up with few strategies that first question was strategies for strengthening social accountability support group. So we said we'll start by identifying those social accountability support groups in our localities. Like we mentioned a few, like old girls schools, old associations of old girls schools, tribal groups, engineering house meeting, and other women groups. We will identify them and do a positive visit to these identified local groups in our locality. Then we plan how to support them during their meetings so that we can gain their confidence and we can gain entrance into the support groups. So the number 2 thing here is mechanism of increasing transparency, accountability, and responsiveness to women's rights issues. What we said on that was we will try as much as possible to be friendly with the members of these social groups. Be friendly with them, come down to their level so that they'll be able to open up on issues disturbing them. Then we also said that we will give chances to ex-survivors in and out of the group, those that are willing to tell their stories during these advocacy visits and talks. And we also said we make role plays during the talk and advocacy visits. And we also talked about creating a safe space for survivors to be able to speak freely and ensure confidentiality. Then, at the mechanism, we say for every case that is reported to us, we make sure that we follow up with those cases. So, on the use of technology. Number 3 thing, we say we should discuss the role of technology and social media in amplifying voices and monitoring accountability. On that, we said we will manage confidentiality and ensure that it's with the permission of the survivor that we will put out any story on social media. So we also said the ones that agree will use false names in order to protect the images of the survivors. Let's clap for them too.
For the social accountability group for Plateau State, we have tried to make use of the template given, where we have the activity, persons responsible, time frame, and then the resources needed. We have identified 4 major activities, starting with stakeholder mapping, where we identify the existing structures that we have, and then the possibility of having new ones. In the course of carrying out the stakeholder mapping, we will be able to identify those ones that are on ground, they need to strengthen them, and then where there is none, the possibility of creating and then strengthening them to be able to carry out these all our meetings, the aims and objectives of WRAPA in promoting and preventing gender-based violence in their localities. And this activity is to be taken responsibility by the state committee as well as other partners, because in the course of our stakeholder mapping, we will also identify partners that are going to collaborate and work together to achieve our goal. This is expected to be carried out within the last 2 months of July, last 2 weeks of July, starting from 15th to the 30th of July 2004 and 24. Then the resources needed are majorly mobilization to be able to carry out our stakeholder mapping within the allocated time. And then the next activity after mapping of our stakeholders is to conduct advocacy.
Please, can we have one house? Thank you.
This advocacy is to be carried out to NDAs and other security outfits that are within the headquarters of the state, and then to be followed up with visits to the 3 senatorial zones that we have in Plateau State. We have 3 senatorial zones. Apart from visit to our major stakeholders within, then we are going to carry out visits to these 3 senatorial zones to pay them advocacy, particularly our faith and cultural leaders, where we are going to advocate to have safe space, either in their structures, some in their palaces, and to also have an entry point, an acceptance, and accessibility to be able to. One may not necessarily have a facility that we call a safe space, but still having their buy-in would give them opportunity to give access to wherever may either call or come visiting or reporting. They have such opportunity to attend to them, and then as well as taking care of their needs in terms of GBV. And this advocacy is to be carried out on the month.
Let's have one house.
August, and the persons responsible, the state committee and partners, to carry out this activity within the month of August. And the resources needed are also mobilization. And then our third activity is to have a town hall. And this town hall is to be taking place in the 3 senatorial zones Because when we say we are going to bring them all together in one place, the burden may be broad. That is why we decided to have it within the 3 senatorial zones, which would be easier for the state committee and partners to be able to carry out in these 3 senatorial zones. And this is expected to take place within September and October, because it's a 3 senatorial zones. Planning and execution will take September and October. The resources needed for this town hall meeting will have mobilization, refreshment, and IET materials. And then the last activity for the planning is strengthening the capacity of identified groups. This stakeholder mapping and advocacy will give us the opportunity to identify our social accountability groups. So after identifying, we have a general town hall for them, then the strengthening of their capacity will continue. This may not happen or may not finish at once, but will continue strengthening their capacity, the identified groups, the women in council, because we have instances, there are some councils that have women, but just like my colleague was sharing, they are regalia wearers. They don't actually participate in decision making. So we want to use this medium to strengthen their capacity, to answer the reason of why they are there in the council. They are not just there to occupy space, but to make impact. Their presence should be impactful in the councils that we have there. This can also be taking responsibility of state committee. All the activities are under the responsibility of state committee and identified partners. And this is expected to continue November, December, where the training and strengthening capacity will take place. And the resources needed are mobilization, refreshment, IEC, as well as training materials. This is the submission of the letter, but I don't know, my colleagues are there to add to. Yes.
Let's give a round of applause to Platinum.
No, we're not done yet.
We are not done.
Yes.
Okay, we are waiting.
We are going to add.
For us in Plateau, we have some existing structures. Like he said, in one of the WRAPA programs, we went to the area of Wasi and Kanam. There are women in council. But the women in council, like you said, they're just they're just ceremonial. So we need to go back there and do more. And then, of course, for where there is no, there are no women in council, although even after activities, what the plateau does is to continue the project. I remember hiking in Kumoni. After the project continued, that's what gave birth to VAWG. After the project had ended, we continued, and that's why we have VAWG at the plateau. And we also have an inheritance project in Bones. So we want to revisit that and strengthen the existing ones. And then also the other groups, so these are pretty strong. But we want to sort of convert, or we want to add another value to their meeting by making them feel not only responsible for their wearing of wrappers, eating rice on Sunday, committee of friends, but to transform into groups that can respond to GDP. So we have the structures, it's a matter of coming down to really strengthen their capacity. We have done some outside WRAPA the project, but with this we are going to do more with support. I will also talk about fundraising for this project. We said that we're going to visit the local government, some of the list of MDAs and personalities we intend to visit, of course, is the Women Affairs, Justice, Information, Youth, Health, and NOA, and the Chieftaincy Affairs. We know that there's no local government chairman that removes money without visiting, without the signature of the Commissioner of Chieftaincy Affairs and all that. And we also look at community bylaws. the hiking learning project, the plan to also realize that link that some communities now have community bylaws on GEV, apart from even the WRAP and the constitution and the penal code and whatever we have existing. We also have communities that have community bylaws. So in our mapping and then the advocacy, this is what we are going to strengthen. Because we believe that if it's owned by the community, a lot can happen. It is ownership and they can do more. When we were growing up, we saw what they call them. If you still in the community, they tie the item to your neck and you dance around the community. And that was very effective then. So we intend to give it back to the community for sustainability. Thank you.
The Girls Value Foundation, Preventive, go around. Teachers will involve pastors and
The Malamas.
including the religious leaders. They will involve because for us to carry on this investigation, they have to be with us. They have to go along with these people. Then God sensitize the women and girls group on how to prevent violence against women and girls. In my community, my local government, we have groups of girls and women. They have groups. And these women, they are smart, but not hard about this WRAPA thing. We have the Niger, WRAPA women, and so forth. They have many groups there. But we can't hear it. Even as smart, but they don't know what this WRAPA is all about. So, in my training here, this is my first time of going to the training. So, the way I was here, I'll go and give it back to them, to train them, so they will not be afraid. They are coming out to speak for their rights and talk about other women or including boys, children there, to talk about this girl child and a boy child. So advocate girls on how to speak out. Once something happens, since I already have been people in that time, we don't let them go on the stage and environment. This stage and the government. Sometimes they do rape girls and women. If it's a little girl because young girl or young girl don't like it. There's one time that last year before this brother, they raped a child, baby, those 3 months. What would the man feel on that? He said it's something. What's something? It's stupidness. So even this baby, they have like this to youth. So things are happening in our area. Since they don't have this rapport, they will never complain. Because even if they have accepted, if they treat to complain, they will now make their contact to the society. So when I came here, since I'm here, I'll take all this what I've learned about WRAPA to our community, including Niger, and about that. So then I'll get people from there, they will be looking into that area because that area is very dangerous. So it's
our area of social accountability is taken
Okay, Mike.
on the groups
and the protected area in our own state. The group is located in Mani Market. And why in Mani Market? Because of the nature of the area, in terms of prosperity and violence against ladies. The group consists of ladies that have come together,
Listen to others.
coming together for the purpose of protection against gender violence. WRAPA came involved because of the pandemic situation that is happening. And find the only way we can solve the situation is an urgent need to salvage the situation in the market and everywhere. Groups of girls were organized. We found their limitations, not to be exposed. WRAPA came in, organized them before, organized monthly meetings. And the monthly meetings, we organized a kind of training to social responsibility of the ladies. And not like women who are involved, mothers who are victims of one thing or the other. We made effort and provided skill acquisition and training among the young ones. How do we go about that? We get religious leaders in the money market involved. The community leaders in the money market were involved. We raised donations by inviting dignitaries that will go and support our aims and objectives. So far, marked out about 30 ladies that are school child in school age.
Sorry, sir. This looks like you are telling us what you have done. We are looking for what you want to do.
Abi, it looks like what you have done in Mami Market, you are talking to Abisa. What we are looking for at this meeting is having had what we have had now. It's not just about Mami Market. How are we going to synergize all the social accountability groups within that state or local government, whichever is your scope that is manageable? So it's not just about a group, master. It is about what you are going to do with this meeting. And answering these questions, how do you brainstorm strategies on enhancing and strengthening the already existing social accountability mechanism, and even including newer ones if possible? Do you understand this, sir? Okay, but what you are proposing here, for me, it's looking like what you already did as a group in COVID.
What we are continuously doing, the continuous project.
Did you understand me? Yes. You are saying, telling us what you have done. Everybody that came up here have done something, but we want to look for what will you do again. When you are mentioning the word strategy, it means something new is about brewing, something new is cooking. So it's not a report of what has been done, sir. Do we want to look at it again? Or you want to, what do you want to do, sir?
We will step it down and give us more time.
Sir?
I said we spend that
So please, let us put this in a strategy form. Action plan. You don't do action plan on what you have done before. You do it on what you are projecting to do. So thank you, sir. Let's give a round of applause to this. Niger said they will ensure that they have a community project. Does that align with their goals and mission? Or must the social accountability group have a community project? What we are after is create a pathway on preventing violence against women and girls. Let them also continue to create awareness within their community. Where there are cases, they should voice it out to the right channels. So let us
us not deviate. If they have community projects, beautiful. But our own focus is so that there will be mechanisms that will prevent violence against women and girls within their community. Then the next thing is that something was missing. First and foremost, you did not mention that you will first of all identify or map how many we have in Niger State and how many will we have capacity and the resources to monitor and to work with. We can decide we have 500 and we say we only work with 10 in Minna. These are part of mapping. That I expected to hear. It is only when you have mapped them, you will understand their thematic strengths. Oh, we are talking to every mother must bring their children for immunization. Oh, we are talking to, they have something they are already doing. How be it, they are already letting state and non-state actors to give account on those things they are doing. So you are not the one teaching them accountability. You understand how to hold state and non-state actors. What you now want to include is, can you also include my agenda, which is the prevention of violence against women and girls. But already you are holding state and non-state actors accountable in your states. So first, how many of them? Those ones you don't teach them advocacy because you already know it. You can only teach them the advocacy that has to do with violence against women and girls. That is the only thing that is clear to them. But you already know how to go and complain with chairman and get results. You already know that. Those are social accountability groups. So it is then you also mentioned that you will teach them further their methodology. It is only when you have identified what they are doing that you can now maybe suggest effective methodology, opportunity for collaboration. You did not mention that, maybe I didn't hear, so I think that was missing. You also did not mention how will you utilize or leverage on technology. How would they utilize technology to ensure that they can do safe reporting without implicating themselves unnecessarily. So we didn't hear anything on that from Niger. So the reason why we got this feedback is so that we can rework it and maybe other ideas will also come and submit tomorrow to Hajia Adiza. Thank you. On the next day, which is Benue, yes, they began by saying that go to association of OPS group, identify and a courtesy visit. I want to use their word as identify. I want to take it that it meant mapping. Even though they didn't use the word mapping. But for you to identify, it means you are trying to know what are they doing. However, just talking of healthcare association, are they already an accountability group? Have you seen cases where they have held state and non-state actors accountable? You have to understand that. It then means they are already understanding how to hold accountable. The only thing you are introducing to them is the VAWG elimination and prevention agenda. So that's one thing in failure. Another thing you said is you will through advocacy visit and the way maybe make them understand your own agenda. All of that are still looking good. You also mentioned creating a safe space. I love that. Creating a safe space for survivors. That's what for us to do what we want to do tomorrow. Those are some of the things social accountability groups are meant for. They don't just go reporting. They also use for where will this person stay so that this abuse will reduce or things calm down in her home. Who will talk to the husband? Those are things they actually do. So that is good to go. You also said, I think you mentioned follow-up cases, which is okay. Then use of technology. You also said, but you said that you will use technology in a way that is not detrimental to survival. You said you will be survival-centric in the use of technology by using code rather than their name and not showing their image. All of us are good. You are telling us how you will not abuse their life through technology, but you never told us how that technology can advance the protection of violence against women through advocacy online. You never said anything like that. Trainings online, you never said anything like that. Virtual, this thing we are doing physically, you can do it virtually. Does it mean I'm not training? I am still training. It's just that a few people may not have network. These are ways people take advantage of IT. Some of the things we want to go and do in town hall, they don't have roundtable conferences virtually. So some of this, in order to cut costs and in order for you to achieve your aim, you can start looking at how you can use technology. Let me tell you my secret. Until COVID came, I don't know what is called Zoom. If I can learn, any other person can learn. So please, let's just use, I don't use technology of Zoom, but I know it's a weakness that I want to improve. So let us also know that we can be in the conference of our beautiful city room and be holding meeting with hundreds of people. It is possible. Okay, so let's see that in your submission. Then we didn't even see any more plans soon. Maybe we are working on it. Any action plan?
No, that's what I said.
Oh, great, thank you. Then, yes, I want to talk on Plateau. They have a beautiful chat too. Very good one. They started by mentioning mapping, which is very essential to everything one wants to do. However, what I see in the Plateau, I see the first one is mobilization for maybe a few engagements. The second is mobilization. The next thing I'm seeing is the town hall to editorial whatever. Why am I seeing cost before budgets? Why is fundraising not preceding your plan, or are you expecting the money from somewhere? We said when we are going to do this action plan, we said something you can take up on your own. So that you are not expecting that why I sit here is because the headquarters is producing money. By the end of July, this project has finished until we are getting another 4 years for foundation, which I don't know when. Do we understand now? So please, whatever it is you can do within your networks, the one that cannot be done by moving around can be done through online. Please, let's come up with such a realistic action plan. And if it's possible you have money in your purse, you can do a video advocacy and all of that. There is no problem about that. But let's have realistic and smart goals that can happen in the next 3 months, at least before the end of the year. Possibly those voices will also join us during the 16 days of advocacy. Those who are not talking EVOC before can also be saying EVOC by that time. Which state next? Nasarawa. Nasarawa began by saying they will engage stakeholders. I like the way Nasarawa Akwara, she put it. In fact, she even identified those stakeholders. She mentioned teacher. She mentioned she said pastor, market women. Pastor, these are really social structures. We call them community structures, which are very, very important. Nothing passes them. So if you don't engage them, and you think you can just be working within that community, in fact, there is one that can even give you mapping without spending. They will say, one group there, see their leader. They can give you that information that you can even get without leaving your sitting room. By virtue of my being in the system, there are so many things I can do without leaving my house. Concerning mobilization, I won't leave my house. I can get every name of the key market leader in Nigeria, and I'll meet my city. That is why we say build relationships, build networks, and ensure you are in touch. If If not because you need them, at least because when it's Salah and you know this person is a Muslim, Barika is Salah. Not only from that, there are some networks that what gives you is beyond money. Somebody will just call you and say, can you tell me 250 women? Overnight, I've done it for organizations. And those women will show. Because when we have been inviting them, we have never disappointed them. Master, you need to structure your own too well. Maybe it's because you have not reading from your whatever, the articulation was not too clear. So let's see it inside your, but I see the idea is there. Then I think Kogi is the only one. I've already made a comment. Let's have it as what you are starting to think now. It might be that, like Plato said, they said they have structures before. They want to strengthen existing structure. There is nothing wrong with that. They said to talk forward and not backward. That is strategy. So please, do we have enough information to make this better by tomorrow? Yes. Okay, let's take our assignment for tomorrow. You may just come back with that. You can just assign 3 people to look at it and share with you in the morning. The next one is discussion on improving grassroots networks for advocacy and implementation. Look at this one very well. Discussion on improving grassroots networks for advocacy and implementation. These are groups that they are grassroots networks, but they never had jack about any form of advocacy. They never held any state or non-state actors accountable. But they are not the people that did their thing. Somebody asked, these cooperatives, can we bring them to it? Why not? Are they not doing it? Churches, they don't hold their leaders accountable. I think you know that. But you can include them. Maybe Form1 is already a social accountability investing group.
That's fine.
They are already. I know a lot of accountability investing that Form1 is a part of different states. They already know how to do it. But there are some organizations that don't do it. Especially in the Christian law. So look for them. Give them your pulse. Why is that? Others are putting rights in the church. So that they will not announce. So tell them this is what we do. You can come and educate them freely in any of their meetings. Now these are networks. These are grassroots networks. Why did we call them grassroots networks? It doesn't matter if it is big in Makoti. They have branches. Some of them have branches in the communities and things are happening. Let me tell you when we got NLC Committee of Women in Adamawa. Adamawa is about 21 local governments. All trade units, they gave us their links in all 21 local governments. Without meeting them, they became advocates, 21 local governments. See, when you get these grassroots networkers, only their leader, you are working the entire team. You want to populate elimination of violence against women and girls. Don't look for 100 people. Look for one person that has thousands behind her. That's a strategy. And most of these grassroots networks, they have it. Why do you think National Council for Open Society is more than 60 years and they have not died? They may not know technical things like us, but I tell you, they have the presence. They can call the 744 local governments on their seats because there is somebody they are representing. And I see something happening in this space now. Funders are looking for them. I know a few funders that got engaged with them. I don't need you for anything. I know you are not technical. I just need you. So maybe what some other organizations have, they don't know what to know. All these violence against women and girls, when you are talking to them, they never had it, but they have a clout of crowd behind them. It can be a right of the general judiciary. You see a grassroots network, as far as we are concerned, Because under that one woman, you can find 5,000 women. So these are other people who may say it's abomination, don't say it here. Get their leader. And begin to get them to understand that you are not just standing for this. This has happened. This has happened. It is when you are on a lot and say, I think this woman is talking sense. These things are happening in our midst too, and we don't know what to do. So they don't know it before. You are the person that is just trying to work with them. So what will be your strategy for this one? It is different from those who are already going to government house, like saying at their house, and they don't speak English. And when government see them, they know they can answer them. Do we understand now? Thank you. Any questions? Can we come tomorrow with this other one? The same template you have used, but now you are dealing with those who have not had the order, but they have needs. They have needs. Market women, yes, a lot of them fall under this. Do you know within one market, you can have tomato sellers separate. You can have pepper sellers separate. Within one market, you can get almost 200,000. But you don't need the 200,000. You also need the 20 leaders who are leaders of leaders within that market. You don't need to speak English. But that one meeting, if I want a power meeting, you dare not be present. There is a fine. They have a lot of power. Your work could be to those national union of road transport workers. There was a time we took advocacy to them. They put our plans. They were even telling us they can surrender their drivers when we have things of providers. Your work can be to carpenter timber shed. We are looking for more male advocates. We can't do it on our own. Women. They are not women. Let's not do men. So you are going to say gender. They don't think it's only the matter of women. Thank you, and over from there.
Any questions before we go?
Do we have any questions?
Well proved.
Sorry, these are the questions for tomorrow. Almost the same question. The one that you are doing on the grassroots. So first of all, write this, and I'll take you to the question.
It's almost the same question. Yes, sir.
I want to be clear. You said we do action plan for the next 3 months. Can you elucidate on that? I really don't.
Okay, you have conceived a strategy. You have conceived a strategy here today. Yes. You have agreed on a strategy. Yes. I mean, in Niger, you have agreed on a strategy.
Yes.
So, even if your strategy will take 1 year, you can do it in phases. Can we have the first 3 months? What will you be doing? Who is responsible? When will it be done?
Thank you.
Grassroots networks for advocacy. Then these are the questions. You can see it's the same. Importance of cultural sensitivity and just trying to change the focus of the social accountability group. They have tried today.
We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for bringing us here today and for ending this program of today successfully. We give every thanks and appreciation to God. I will pray that tomorrow God will bring us here safely again to finalize what we have started since yesterday, and hope that all what we have learned here, God will retain it in our brain and we are going to work according to what we have planned. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.